money is not just paper. It's not just numbers. It is not wealth, it's control. It's psychology. And Machiavelli would tell you, those who understand money as a tool of survival, manipulation, and leverage are the ones who quietly rise above the masses. Because in every kingdom, in every system, in every era of human history, money was never about comfort. It was always about power. People are taught to chase money, but not to understand it. That's why they stay broke. That's why they stay used. You see, the average person is emotionally bonded to money. They don't just spend it, they react to it. They feel guilt when they have too much. Shame when they have too little. They don't control money, money controls them. But Machiavelli would see through this illusion instantly. He would say, "He who controls desire, controls destiny." And there is no greater desire in the modern world than the hunger for wealth. That hunger makes men predictable. And anything that makes people predictable can be weaponized. The first rule of Machiavellian wealth is simple: money is not earned, it is engineered. The idea of working hard and getting rewarded is a myth designed to keep the average man obedient. If money followed effort, the world would look different. Janitors would be kings, and CEOs would be servants. But the truth is, wealth follows strategy. It follows leverage. It follows silence, positioning, and information. Those who build wealth don't always move the fastest. They move the smartest. They understand that in every system, there are loopholes, incentives, power vacuums, and they position themselves to exploit them. Legally. Psychologically. Ruthlessly. Most people sell their time for money. A cunning man sells value, access, or illusion. That's what influencers do. That's what politicians do. That's what kings did. Why? Because time is limited, but perception is infinite. The average person trades labor for money because they don't realize value is perception-based. Machiavelli understood this. He said it is better to appear virtuous than to be virtuous, because perception moves people more than truth. And today, money flows to those who control attention, perception, and influence, not necessarily those who work the hardest. And yet, most people are still playing an outdated game. They're emotionally trapped by money because of one thing: scarcity conditioning. From birth, you are trained to fear lack. To see money as something outside of you, something that comes from permission, a job, an employer, a system. So you never ask, who created the rules I follow? You just play. You follow the debt script. The student loan trap. The 40-year career pipeline. You obey without knowing you're being used. This is not a conspiracy, it's psychological conditioning. Machiavelli wouldn't complain about it. He'd use it. He'd see that in a world where most people can be controlled by their fear of going broke, the real kings are those who remain emotionally independent from money, even while they control it. The second rule: money is a mirror of power, never the source. That's why some rich people are still weak. Still insecure. Still disrespected. Because they chase money for status, not for sovereignty. Machiavelli warned about this kind of foolish ambition, because the man who gains wealth without inner control becomes a slave to his own image. He spends to be seen. He flexes to be feared. But inside, he's hollow. The real power is not in having money, it's in having the kind of mind that can walk away. Walk away from noise. Walk away from approval. Walk away from desperation. The rich man who is still afraid of loss is not rich. He's just emotionally expensive. Understand, money is a leverage tool. It buys you time. It buys you silence. It buys you protection. But only if you know how to use it. Otherwise, it becomes your master. That's why Machiavellian wealth isn't about materialism. It's about mental detachment. A Machiavellian doesn't love money, he respects what it can do. But he never lets it define him. That's how he remains untouchable. Because when others lose their mind in pursuit of status, he stays calm. He watches. And he moves when it's most profitable, not when it's most emotional. This is why emotional discipline is the foundation of wealth. Most people go broke not because they lack income, but because they can't control desire. They inflate. They react. They chase dopamine through spending. Machiavelli would say, control perception. Control impulse. And the world will hand you its wealth. Why? Because 90% of people are enslaved by their own hunger. They want faster. They want bigger. They want attention. And in that hunger, they become pawns. Employees. Consumers. Followers. The Machiavellian doesn't play that game. He plays the long game. He knows that wealth compounds not just through investment, but through psychological separation from the masses. He is not ruled by status signals. He is not impressed by luxury. He can wear silence like a crown. And when he spends, it's not to be seen. It's to position. Everything he does is a move. Every dollar is a seed. Every decision is filtered through one question: will this increase my power or decrease it? And here's what separates him most: he understands that money is political, not personal. The system was never designed to be fair. And the faster you accept that, the more dangerous you become. Money flows through relationships, through influence, through compliance and control. The elite don't fight for fairness. They engineer positions. They build networks. They place pawns. And while the masses complain about injustice, the Machiavellian studies the chessboard and moves in silence. Because power is not given. It is seized. And wealth is not gifted. It is constructed, one psychological edge at a time. So if you want to understand how money really works, forget the motivational slogans. Forget the follow your passion nonsense. Understand the psychological reality: money flows to those who can control themselves first, and others second. It flows to those who can stay calm in chaos. To those who can delay gratification. To those who are emotionally indifferent to loss but strategically obsessed with leverage. This isn't about greed. It's about clarity. Money is neither good nor evil, it is a magnifier. It exposes who you are and what you're addicted to. Most people are addicted to spending. To approval. To comfort. The Machiavellian is addicted to positioning. He doesn't chase wealth. He builds systems that extract it. Slowly. Quietly. Permanently. So remember this: in the end, money is not a prize. It's a weapon. It can liberate or enslave, depending on who holds it. If you don't control your emotions, someone else will use money to control you. But if you master your psychology, if you think like Machiavelli, you won't just make money. You'll command it.